going to be talking about kick a little bit. But before we talk about clavicular manslaughter, we should cover Adin Ross. So for those of you who don't know, Adin Ross is a very edgy streamer. I'm sure you already know who he is by now. You know, he's aligned with like neo-Nazi stuff like that. He's been on Kick. He's one of the major faces on Kick. Represents everything that Kick represents. However, Adin Ross has actually found a very unique. Adin Ross has been able to identify a very unique position within the right. Okay, regardless of what you may think of Adin Ross's intellect, he has unironically figured out a more consistent position of being, you know, a right-wing figure than the likes of Ben Shapiro. Okay, which I find very funny. The reason why I find it very funny is because Adin Ross initially did this thing with Puka Nakua, right? Where he really leans into like the anti-Semitic conspiracies for his audience. He's like, oh, I have Jew lawyers, yada yada, all this shit, right? And also, I mean, his actual his like image, his PFP on Twitter is literally him doing like the anti-Semitic greedy merchant meme, which is what he was trying to teach Puka Nakua to do as a touchdown celebration. He asked Puka Nakua, who's the wide receiver for the Rams, to if he gets a touchdown, to do a touchdown celebration dance where he spins the ball like a dreidel, which is normal. People do that all the time, right? And then hit the double flex and then do the greedy merchant meme. Now, Adin himself is Jewish, even though he leans into the anti-Semitic memes quite a bit. Adin also has a deeply anti-Semitic audience. Okay? So I don't think Puka Nakua knows what the fuck any of those things are. Let's be real. I don't think he knows much other than, you know, running the football, catching it and running it. Okay? But the timing of this was also, you know, very fucked up because Adin did this literally, I think, a day or two after the Hanukkah massacre took place in Bondi Beach. Okay? Yeah, we'll watch the Jarvis
Hello
video
and welcome
on
back to
Clavicular, but hold on. Let's just keep focused on the Adin Ross thing. And then a bunch of criticisms came down, not against Adin, ironically enough, but mostly against Puka Nakua for doing this meme, this anti-Semitic meme. He didn't end up using it. He didn't end up using the greedy merchant like touchdown celebration in the game. The Rams ended up losing, not because of Puka Nakua. He was you know, I think he had 2 touchdowns. He had a really great game. Regardless, no one actually got mad at Adin Ross except for Dave Portnoy. And apparently Adin Ross and Dave Portnoy had an extensive conversation over text messages. Dave Portnoy, for those of you who don't know, is obviously the founder of Barstool. I didn't even know he was Jewish until like I think last year. Anyway, Dave Portnoy has had Dave Portnoy has been victim to anti-Semitic hate crime incidents himself personally. Okay. And he has also said a bunch of heinous shit about Greta Thunberg being murdered, and has presented himself as being pro-Israel. Even though I don't think he had ever done that throughout most of his life until Israel was, known to the masses as doing a genocide, right? So he grabbed onto the pro-Israel movement in the worst possible time. But here is the conversation that took place between Adin Ross and Dave Portnoy.
You need to use your brain and work with people, not against. Because guys like you roll over and ask them to pet your belly. No, yes. Tucker, Piers, etc. Mainstream, it's inevitable. I just had to back Nick right there because he was kind of like, oh, you're lost for fucking with Nick.
What is inevitable? Do you think Israel is 1,000% in the right by murdering kids in Gaza? War sucks, which nobody died.
What is inevitable? Watch what I asked Dave. Dave, do you think Israel's 1,000% in the right by murdering kids in Gaza? War sucks, which nobody died. Dave, why can't you answer the question what I asked you? The other side is also in the wrong. Do you think Israel's 1,000% in the right? That's all I'm asking. There is no 1,000% right in the war. Why can't you just say yes or no? Why? Why do you have to just go around the question? Answer the fucking question here, Dave. Can you admit?
I'm sorry. If you lose an argument, this is a perfect example of Zionism being a brain-rotting function. It causes someone like Dave Portnoy to lose an argument and to come across as like the immoral side in a conversation, in a one-to-one conversation between yourself and Adin Ross. Okay? That is fucking insane. That is insane. You lost the argument to Adin Ross, Dave. Dave Porkboy, hang it up. It's over. To Adin Ross. You took the fattest of L's to Adin fucking Ross, dude. I'm sorry, you are comparing equal intellects here? Yeah, exactly. And in many respects, I would say that like Dave Portnoy is the archetype, right? Like he was the prototype. Adin Ross is like the final evolution of a Dave Porkboy style figure.
That there are innocents dying. Why can't you answer this question? Of course, thank you. Therefore, you need to point out both sides, Dave. I have Muslim fans. Nobody has ever said otherwise. So do I. I have fans of all types. So do I. So stand up for the people who love and follow you. Chat, that's why I stand out for the people that I love and my community. Because you guys are all sorts of different cultures, backgrounds, etc. If you watch me, you're mixed. You're different types of backgrounds, races, religions, etc.
I need to see more of this. I need to see more of it because I saw more clips of this and it's fucking hilarious. But they have this argument. There is one better clip of this than the one that we just saw, where guys, Adin Ross is not being woke here. He is saying equal opportunity hate. I need you to understand. He's literally saying, listen, dog, we make fun of everybody else. Okay. We make fun of everybody else. If we can't make fun of ourselves as Jewish people and we try to do this like DEI shit for Jews, we're going to lose the conversation. No, I'm not even kidding. I saw the rest of the text exchange and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, this motherfucker figured it out. He literally, I don't think he's right, for the record. You know, make no mistake. I don't think it's appropriate and I don't think he's right at all because I'm on the opposing side of this conversation where I don't think we should be doing this to anybody. I don't think we should be dehumanizing anyone, right? Whereas Adin unironically has figured out that the intellectually consistent or the consistent position here to continue having an audience of right-wingers as someone who is Jewish is to literally do anti-Semitic memes. He's basically saying like, you can't, you can't run around and demand DEI or wokeness just for Jews. It makes us look bad. Okay. Now, this is the murdering kids Israel part of the conversation, but there's more to it. There's more of a back and forth where he actually lasers in on the other side where he's like, where is it? Let me see if I can find the rest of it.
On argument with Dave Portnoy. I'm gonna show the text tomorrow on stream. He told.
Oh wait, he didn't show the text here. Oh, someone else must have had the clips where he shows the rest of the text. It may be this one. Hold on. Let me see if this is the one.
15 people get murdered in Australia.
Oh yeah, so Dave, the conversation starts actually where, Dave Portnoy is kind of correct, right? He goes, "Why'd you tell Puka to do that dance? Seems like an asshole dumb thing to do." Adin says, "It's a joke. It shouldn't have been taken too seriously." Yeah, telling a dude to do an anti-Semitic touchdown dance 5 seconds after 15 people get murdered in Australia surely wouldn't be taken too seriously. Idiotic thing to do. You play both sides. Okay? Again, Dave Portnoy is not wrong. Okay? He's kind of not wrong. The problem here is they're both right-wing. So the hypocrisy stems from Dave having this smoke for every other group and then being hypersensitive about anti-Semitism. And this is the reason why Adin Ross actually arrives at a more intellectually consistent position than Dave fucking Portnoy.
Surely wouldn't be taken too seriously. Idiotic thing to do, you play both sides. No, we need to stop playing this victim card and be consistent with all sides, races and religion. I'm Jewish like you. I celebrate Hanukkah, Shabbat. There aren't just Jewish people that live in this world.
He's literally, dude. No, this is not about clavicular. We're going to get to that in a second. No, he's literally just, he's not wrong. He's like, you can't be shitting on everybody and then not shit on Jews as Jews yourselves. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, of course, this position is not sustainable if you are literally Jewish and you're also leaning into anti-Semitism, because eventually you're no longer going to be in a comfortable position. And I don't think Adin realizes that. I don't think he realizes much, which is why this makes it so much funnier, where he is coming across as like smarter than Dave Portnoy, or at least more consistent than Dave Portnoy in this circumstance, because he's saying, no, it's equal opportunity racism. We got to be hateful to everybody. You don't understand.
You're a Jew who wants the cool kids to seem like he's a cool Jew. Suck Kanye's dick, tell Pookie to do that dance. If you don't think there's a difference between how Jews and being treated in this world versus 2 years, you're an idiot. That's the problem. We can't take shit too seriously. Our people are being hated. You need to add comedic light to show people we can take jokes. Not all Jews are bad, but people like you give us a bad rep, Dave. That's what I was referring to, Dave. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'd love to hear your full opinion, but we need to add light, not play the victim card. I'm a proud Jew. To stop anti-Semitism, we need to add comedic light, not play the victim card.
Bro, I love infighting of this sort. I'm sorry. It is a Christmas miracle, baby. Dave Portnoy getting out-woked by Adin Ross in an effort to defend doing more anti-Semitism. What is happening here, man? This is fucking incredible. Okay? Dave Portnoy comes in and is like, dude, why the fuck are you, fomenting anti-Semitism? What the fuck's wrong with you? Adin Ross turns around and says, you defend Israel. You are literally doing worse shit. You are doing worse shit for us Jews by defending Israel than I am. And if we don't actually wisen up, like, we're gonna get clapped up. We're like, if you keep defending Israel and then crying about anti-Semitism, you're making people more anti-Semitic than I am. I'm just like making a mockery about it. I'm taking it not so seriously, which is the consistent position in the right. Okay. It's not correct, because I understand how bigotry works. My perspective on this, to pull myself out of this back and forth conversation, is that it's not great. It's not smart to actively dehumanize yourself. Okay. It's not smart or great or good overall for social cohesion to consistently undermine marginalized groups and dehumanize them. Not a good idea at all, because then you're going to let the fucking Nazis take over. Okay? But if you are right wing, if you are conservative, Adin Ross is 100% right. If you're conservative, if you want to do if you want to engage in dehumanizing rhetoric, if you want to be fucking bigoted or whatever, Adin Ross is right. He's more right than Ben Shapiro. He's more right than Dave Portnoy. He has, with the limited intelligence that he has, arrived at a better position for conservative Jews that want to maintain this allegiance than Dave Portnoy and Ben Shapiro have. That's it. In any case, let's get to DOJ uncovering more documents related to Jeffrey Epstein before we move on to socialismus.
Latest on the Jeffrey Epstein files, the Justice Department says it has uncovered more than 1 million documents that are potentially related to this case. Our chief White House correspondent, Selena Wang, is near Mar-a-Lago, where the president is spending the holiday week. Selena, good morning.
Hey, Rhiannon, good morning. And this was really a surprise announcement from the Justice Department, saying they've uncovered more than 1 million additional documents potentially related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. And the DOJ says because of the sheer volume of all of these files, it could take a few more weeks to review and release these files. They say lawyers are working around the clock to ensure that these documents are properly redacted.
After this, I'm going to talk about Clavicular.
to protect victims. But that explanation, it's not easing the outrage on Capitol Hill. Democrats claim the DOJ is breaking the law by missing last week's deadline to release these files. Now, sources had previously told ABC that the DOJ has upwards of 1 million files related to Jeffrey Epstein, but so far, only about 100,000 have been made public. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is putting it this way, posting, quote, a Christmas Eve news dump of 1 million more files only proves what we already know. Trump is engaged in a massive cover-up. Now, look, this is a striking announcement from the Justice Department, given that months ago, Trump officials had already claimed that they had done a comprehensive review of all Epstein-related files. But still, the Justice Department is insisting that everything will eventually be released in compliance with the law. Will?
It's all going to take a while to comb through and untangle. Selena Wang down in Florida for us. Thank you so much.
In his first Christmas sermon, Pope Leo focused on the conditions for Palestinians in Gaza and gave thought to displaced people around the world. The unusually direct appeal was during what is normally a spiritual service on the day that celebrates the birth of Jesus. The first US Pope said the story of Jesus being born in a stable showed that God had, quote, pitched his fragile tent among the people of the world.
How then can we not think of the tents in Gaza, exposed for weeks to rain, wind and cold, and of those of so many other refugees and displaced persons on every continent, or of the makeshift shelters of thousands of homeless people in our own cities?
Leo was elected in May by the world's cardinals to succeed the late Pope Francis. He's known to have a more quiet, diplomatic style than his predecessor, and usually refrains from making political references in his sermons. But Leo has also lamented the conditions for Palestinians in Gaza several times recently. He told journalists last month that the only solution in the decades-long conflict...
This Pope is also too woke, bro. We gotta chill out. We gotta fucking chill out with how woke this Pope is. Anyway, let's talk about how some people were spending their Christmas Eve. And by some people, I mean Clavicular, also known as kick streamer who can't stop using the N-word. This is from Jarvis Johnson, friend of the show Jarvis, covered Clavicular. I have talked about him a little bit as well. A guy who came out from the lookism, looks-maxing community with BP edits and whatnot. I started seeing him on my TikTok For You page, and basically, I did not like what I saw. I was just giving ED to young men in general and causing them to have severe body dysmorphia and genuine complications. Black pill edits, BP edits are pretty devastating. But this is a person whose entire content revolves around looks maxing. ED is eating disorders, chat. Looks maxing. Changing the way you look in an effort to ascend to being a Chad. Yes, phases breaking apart as well. I'm seeing that. I'm paying attention to that as well. We'll cover that too. But what is this? The clip of him and Bradley is so funny. He put his titty on his shoulder.
Boys, we're about to go out. I haven't been to the gym in about 3 weeks, so hence the lack of gains. Ed's gambling in the back. But essentially what you're going to want to do, fellas, is tape this to your delts so that you actually look like you have a little bit of size on you when you're like me and all you're doing is partying all the time and not lifting.
Yeah. I saw a clip of you putting, like, I don't know, on your shoulder
pads,
bro. That was, I'm not gonna lie, that was the gayest thing I've ever saw, though.
That's gay.
That's so.
How is that gay?
Because it's like,
but it gets you a result.
I don't think it's gay. And I'm stealing this from a doll I saw on my For You page. But it's objectively, it's trans. It's like there was this, it's drag, but also beyond drag, because they take hormones and stuff too. It's kind of giving trans. And before people get mad at me for saying this, I mean, it is quite literally gender affirming care to a degree that is unsustainable and unhealthy. Okay. I would say that gender confirmation for trans people is very healthy. It helps you avoid suicide, things like that. Makes you more comfortable in your own skin. Whereas these guys are basically breaking their brains through gender affirming care. Yeah, he is a male to male trans man, trans mask. Okay. And it's beyond reason. It's beyond being healthy in general. It's just like this is the unironic, unhealthy version of what conservatives claim trans people are doing. They're talking about you and maxing TikTok. Good one, chatter. Thank you. Take a week off. Naughty list for you. Now you can't even participate in the fucking gift maxing. Be careful. It's Christmas, but that don't mean you can test me. You go on the naughty list, you're out for a week. Anyway. But this is like at first, like I said, I thought his fans were just like egging him on, like the World of T-Shirts guy, to like do increasingly crazier shit. But I realized they unironically think this is an ascension. Like they think he looks better now. And it's a very strange phenomenon. But it's like this. Look, Clav's goals are inspiring. It's shit like this. This guy looks like he just did crystal and got into a fight 2 days ago. He looks so unhealthy. I know.
Play video games, blast meth, and just do that. Like I just want to mug 9-to-5s, meth maxing. I want to grind this game so hard that like the guy who gets home from work and has like maybe a PS4 from back in the day, I just want to fucking destroy him because I'm on meth. I want to play video games.
Shit like that.
I don't want anything but a white girl. Are you serious? Yeah, bro. What are we talking about? Like, you would get with anything not... What? You get with anything not normal? Not normal? Not like, what the fuck? Not like the normal race? You wouldn't do that?
The normal race. I think he's talking about white people.
Carving show, as you guys might have seen. So hopefully...
There is an entire universe. There is an entire universe around these guys. And these communities like fucking pop off. You might think like, oh, this only has 72 views or 72 likes. Who gives a shit? I'm telling you right now, there is a combined multiple billion, okay? Multiple billions in the audience, in the fandom, like millions of eyeballs, billions of impressions. It's not even, it's so insane, okay? But ultimately, the reason why I'm talking about this...
Marlon Moggs.
Oh, yeah. This was the original, like, this was when he was, like, fully pivoting into the right-wing shit a while back. There is the gym cell. I forget his name. The one who always says, you got Gyno. I think he's very funny, though.
All of you? Yeah, but he's black.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not?
Have you seen his parents? They're white.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's just really sad. Well, he does mog.
He mogs us to oblivion.
Oh, shit. I'm like shaking my fucking leg.
Yeah, and after this, like, people were like, what the fuck do you mean? No, he can't mog, he's black. And then he literally leaned into it and like did a collab stream with Nick Fuentes. The problem is it's also anchored around like very negative and very unhealthy views of oneself. And the people, the insane people are leading the asylum pretty much. Because like a 14-year-old should not be learning about life from a fucking 19-year-old, okay? That's the problem. And it's presented as like cheat codes. All these other adults around these people also don't give a fuck because they're all grifter content creators themselves. So none of them actually turn around and go, hey man, I think you should probably not you shouldn't do this stuff. I don't think this is healthy for you. And I don't think it's healthy for your audience. So no one actually turns around and like checks them or tries to guide them in a healthier way. But the reason why this is so universal, the reason why people are so fucking so invested in this stuff all around the world is because the experiences that people have they're fairly universal too. I was 13 years old in Turkey, right? I was 14 years old in Turkey growing up. I had the same problems that other 13 to 14-year-olds have. And those problems don't change. Like, you like a girl, you're too shy, you're unsure about yourself, you're unsure about who you want to be, you're unsure about, you have a lot of anxieties, you have hormones that are coursing through your fucking veins. It's crazy. Okay? And especially nowadays, you have unlimited, unrestricted access to the internet, and you start developing these very, very unhealthy attitudes about who you are supposed to be or how you are supposed to achieve certain goals that you set for yourself. And if your goals are, how do I talk to women? How do I make women like me? These guys give you basically a cheat sheet. Okay? But in the process, my biggest goal always is to defeat insecurity, defeat that crippling anxiety. And that comes from within. That comes from repetition. That comes from working. That comes from achieving goals that you set for yourself. What these guys are doing, however, is unironically making you more insecure as you accomplish some of these goals, because the starting point is unhealthy. The outlook is unhealthy. That's the reality. This is the dark side of self-improvement. Self-improvement is a great concept, okay? Fantastic concept. It's very important for me. And I try to explain that to others as well. I tell people all the time, you always should be on a journey of self-improvement. It's a good thing. But these guys are actually not improving the one aspect that they have to improve, which is self-reliance and confidence, okay? But because it's anchored around this like unimaginably insecure fake hierarchy that they've cultivated for themselves, they will never achieve confidence. And without confidence, gym maxing means nothing. You're still an insecure, whiny loser, even if you're fucking jacked. And the older you get without achieving this confidence, okay, the older you get without achieving self-reliance and confidence and security in your own skin, the worse the world looks for you, because you keep carrying those insecurities into every conversation that you have, every social interaction that you have. And then you keep going, I'm trying so hard, but I'm not achieving the results I want to achieve. Why the fuck is that happening? And then people fall into even a darker pit of despair, right? And that's when they get fully black-pilled. They go, oh, I'm just not good enough. My facial structure is not good enough. I'm just too short. Women ain't shit. They should want me. I'm so alpha. I'm so good. I've done so much, and they still don't want me. They still reject me. Yeah, they're rejecting you because you're insecure. But you can't recognize that because you think security comes from how you present yourself to others, whereas security actually comes from within.
I'm someone that uses exogenous hormones, and I want to know your take on this, because my whole thought process with exogenous hormones is, sure, you know, the aesthetic benefit of being bigger. It's nice. You know, having a more dominant frame is going to help you in business negotiations, politics, whatever. So I'm doing that more so for the reason that if you're trying to be natural and listen to these wellness guys, the shit that they're saying is so fucking absurd. They're wanting people to spend hundreds of dollars a week on supplements, ashwagandha, certain types of underwear, EMF shirts. And I'm like, fellas, can we just acknowledge for one fucking second that maybe it would be a little cheaper in this economy just to use synthetic testosterone? And that way you could eat fucking Popeyes and not have to deal with all this bullshit. And this really doesn't get through to all these influencers' heads, because they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on the supplements that they're selling to people. So they're like, what do you mean? You know, eating a grass-fed ribeye every day is not, you know, it's not unrealistic. It's like, yeah, but, you know, when most people are on welfare, it starts to get into crazy territory. So what do you think about that, about, you know, exogenous hormones?
I don't know. They kind of scare me. I mean, doesn't it make it...
Yeah, Nick's looking at him like he wants a slice of that, for the record.
You can't make...
Because he has, as someone in the chat called, boy toy maxed.
Testosterone naturally? Or
no, he's not miring. That's different. Miring is also a somewhat homoerotic concept. That's why I jokingly refer to like going to the gym as the gayest thing that you can do. And the more you lift, the gayer you become, because there is a level that you achieve with your physique that if you go past it, you're actually not doing it to look sexy for women. You're doing it to look sexy for other men. Okay? That's where miring comes into play. Admiration, admiring another man's body. It's the, I don't even want to say Cristiano Ronaldo, even though they use that as an example all the time. Like Cristiano Ronaldo's physique is seen as like much more attractive and aesthetic for women, whereas someone like Canute, for example, does not have a physique that is attractive to women at all, or only attractive to specific types of women that simply want someone that is a bodybuilder. But Canute's body type is very attractive to people who have already reached a level or have certain goals in the gym. But it's mostly men.
A myth.
That's a myth. So, while you're on the hormones, your body does stop.
Hazi doing his homophobic thing whenever he mentions Fuentes. Brother, if you've gone on a date with a cat boy and have accidentally shown gay porn on your broadcast, I think it's not that crazy. And objectively say that you have no interest in being around women and hate women and even say stuff like, oh, if dating a woman is gay. It kind of seems like you're masking for something else. I'm just saying, every time Nick comes up, you make fun of him for being gay. I also make fun of him for being Mexican as well. Does that mean that I'm making fun of Mexicans across the board? Does that mean that I think there's something wrong with being Mexican? Or do you think I'm actually addressing the insane oxymoronic position that he's leaned into as a white nationalist who happens to be Mexican, who champions conservative values, but is also gay? Is this a consistent standard? So what, all ICE people are migrants too? Wait, what? Brother, I don't think you're smart enough to understand this. It is the inconsistency that is being laughed at here. There's nothing wrong with having Mexican heritage or being gay. There is, however, something wrong with presenting an anti-gay worldview as the appropriate worldview. There is something wrong with slotting people into racial categories. And it becomes even funnier when you yourself actually don't even reach the top of the standard that you are trying to create. All right. Well, y'all are fucking crazy. Okay. We did this. I talked about clavicular, vehicular manslaughter. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. This is an incredible fucking disrespectful AI video, but it's the one AI video that I think totally fucking nails the issues with AAA games.
Good. You made it.
That you, Peach? I see Toadsworth roped you into this too.
The Monarch's job is never done, but we can talk more later. Bowser's castle should be just up ahead.
I thought I smelled something burning.
Focus M.
Oh, it's not AI? I thought it was AI.
Bowser's got the power stars, and you know what that means.
I thought the voice was AI voice, so I thought it was AI. It's a Blender render? My mistake. I apologize for thinking it was AI.
Yeah, trouble.
Exactly. So watch your back. Oh, and if you find any...
It's not AI. The hatred in this video is genuine. Yeah, no, that's...
red coins out there, make sure to grab those too. Collect enough and I might...
I love that. One of the little things that I love here is when the Peach is in the intercoms and she's speaking and Mario is responding, the character still goes, ugh, yeah. Like, that's a classic AAA trope.
Collect enough and I might just have an upgrade waiting for you.
All right. You're the boss, princess.
Yeah, you're the boss, princess. Ah! Like, so fucking stupid.
Okay, Mario. Time to party. All right. All right.
Good. You made it.
That you, Peach? I see Toadsworth roped you into this too.
The Monarch's job is never done, but we can talk more later. Bowser's castle should be just up ahead.
I thought I smelled something. Oh. A mushroom. I should take a look at that.
Oh my God, it's triggering
I think
me.
I should go this way. A coin. This could be useful. Whoa, I'm Super Mario. The Goomba's head is exposed. If I can find a way to jump on it, it's game over. A mushroom.
Dude, it's so perfect. I had no idea AAA Mario would be so popular. I had to make some more. Yeah, it's fucking incredible. It is fucking incredible. This is pure hate, but it's so warranted, okay? Some studios tried making games that pause dialogue when the characters made noise like that, but it was always breaking and not allowing players to progress and such. It got bad for many other reasons too, so they abandoned it. This is what MGS actually is? No, it's not, okay? You're so wrong. MGS does have a hyper focus on cutscenes. Hideo Kojima tries to make his work into a cinematic experience, and I think he's very successful at doing this. The problem here is this is more so like, no disrespect, this is more so a little bit in the same vein as like God of War, Spider-Man, like all these other games that have come out. All these other games that have come out that try to do you have to walk through this cutscene, you have to walk through here, you have to, like the games that like spoon feed you the fucking story, Assassin's Creed games, like they all have this exact same linear approach, like corny dialogue in a similar vein. It's very, it's polished slop. I like that. It's very polished. It's very good. For a lot of people, it's bubble gum. Like it's consumable, but it gets to a point, especially with like the new Unreal Engine. I feel like every game is the same fucking game. I know I've complained about this a lot in the past, but I swear video games have been market tested to death. It says something that this is resonating so hard with so many people when it's pointed out like this. It really highlights how milquetoast AAA games have become. Yes. 100%. And every like 5 years or so, they basically find like one new genre almost. Okay, you make it sound like it's a rampant problem. For AAA, it is a rampant problem. That's why I think Expedition 33 is a great example of a game that's like different, right? It's just like unique. It's very unique, and that's why I think it was very refreshing for a lot of people. Because it was Expedition 33. Is this? No, fuck no, it wasn't. This is E33. Oh my Lord, you guys are so stupid. Shut up. Every now and then, there's a game that comes out that doesn't do this, and that's why people actually laser in on it and really enjoy it and really enjoy playing it, okay? Expedition 33 is unironically one of those games that didn't do this kind of stuff at all. But here, I'll give you another example. As someone who loves roll slop, okay, as someone who loves From Software games, because From Software banged so hard with both Elden Ring and all these other, like people started tuning into more From Software like earlier work. Every other game that's come out since From Software since Elden Ring basically has incorporated some kind of Elden Ring dynamic. In the last decade, this was the parry system. Okay, before Elden Ring, every fucking game's combat system turned into Arkham Asylum. I don't know which one actually was the first game that made the parry slop, but every game basically, like all the Assassin's Creed games, Witcher, and every single RPG that came out basically had the same combat system. You get surrounded by enemies and they come at you 2 at a time, 3 at a time, and you parry. Like it's all like when they find something, when developers find something that like works and people like it, they add it on to their formula. Shadow of Mordor is another one, even though Shadow of Mordor actually did have a good formula, but they IP'd it. So now they don't have, no one else can actually put it in their games. Shadow of Mordor had something very cool. What is it called? Like the title system or something? The Nemesis system, where Your villains that you kill, if you defeat them, would, yeah, the Nemesis system is one of the coolest things that I had seen. And they unironically turned that into, they IP'd it so no one else could actually put it in their games or incorporate it into their games, even though the Nemesis system is actually fucking awesome. Yeah, you would defeat certain enemies, certain like mini bosses, and they would work up through the ranks and basically become like stronger and stronger every time you fought them. And it would create like a little lore around them, which was very cool. Yeah, and if they killed you, they would gain even more power as well. Now Warner Brothers is doing fuck all with it, so it just doesn't exist in new games. Yeah, Warner Brothers basically patented the Nemesis system, and then they never used it again, ironically enough. Yeah, and they remember you. There's a little cutscene. You can make them insane, then they'll let them kill you. Instant legendary. So that in and of itself is like a cool thing. But maybe if every game incorporated it, I would get annoyed with it. I don't know. Are you saying this is a negative, though? If a gameplay mechanic is proven to work, why reinvent the wheel? It's there's just so much of it that it gets boring and repetitive. It's stale. It's oversaturated. And I literally used to dream of a gaming world that I now live in, and I never thought that it would turn into a nightmare. When I was younger, I loved RPGs, and I always thought to myself, why doesn't every game incorporate RPG elements into it? Every game, whether it's a first-person shooter, an action game, should all have a skill tree structure, should all have RPG elements baked into it. Now every game has RPG elements baked into it, and I fucking hate it. Okay? I used to think, why can't every game have RPG elements and a sandbox style system where you can just like open world explore all the time? Now every game has that, and it fucking sucks. Okay? Every game has skill trees, items, you know, all this shit, and many of those games also have like some semblance of like an open world, and it all sucks. Some of them still do it well, obviously, when they have something unique to it. But yeah, it becomes lazy after a while. It's too formulaic. There's not a lot of passion put into it. Are you admitting that it's your fault games are like this? I mean, I'm not the only person who is this age that thought that, I suspect. Clearly, many developers also thought the same thing, and that's why they incorporated it. You have to remember, a lot of developers are my age and maybe a little bit older, so they probably also went through the same experiences that were like, oh my God, Grand Theft Auto 3. Like when it first came out, Grand Theft Auto 3, a lot of you guys don't understand. I'm 34 years old. When Grand Theft Auto 3 first came out, it was like that game, and maybe before that it was like Shenmue. Like there was like 3 games total that had an open world, okay? 3 games total on the planet that actually had an open world environment with a third person camera. And then a lot of other video games started incorporating open world into it as well.